Tell me about the sitting in Downing Street having a cup of coffee in the morning and listening to, say, 1 million people outside protesting. Did those protesters, and that's the enormity of it at the time, give you pause for thought?
Of course. Look, it's not them that gave me pause for thought, simply. The awesome nature of the responsibility and the decision. You should have pause for thought all the way through. But here's the thing. In the end, you have to decide this way or that. Right? There is, unfortunately, no third way in it.
The number of soldiers that have died, British soldiers in Iraq, and the countless number of Iraqi civilians that have died. Have you ever had a moment of a night where you might have shed a tear and said, this is horrific? Did you ever cry about what's happened?
As I say in the book, you wouldn't be human if you didn't feel emotional about it, and I actually explain one occasion when I did, when meeting the family of one of the soldiers. But let's also remember that if I'd taken the opposite decision, or if America had taken the opposite decision, there were also people dying under Saddam every year. Just one little thing which is worth pointing out. Under Saddam, the child mortality rate in Iraq was the same as the Congo. Now, it is down to a third of what it was. That's 50 or 60,000 children, extra children, living every year there. So, when you look at the history of this, unfortunately, this is not a case of this decision leading to bad consequences, this decision leading to good. It's a decision with difficult consequences either way.
When you arrive into a situation like this, a live television interview, and you come through the gates and you have people chanting with the placards and so on, and they're shouting war criminal, and they're shouting at you, are you a war criminal?
Of course I don't believe that. But
why are they calling you one?
Ryan, you know why they are, and they're perfectly entitled. Look, I'm not going to explain it. I don't have to explain it. They can explain it. But in the end,
you can try.
Of course, I can understand it. But you can't take decisions on the basis of people with placards. You've got to take decisions on the basis of what you think is right.
Does their opinion matter, do you think?
Of course their opinion matters, but their opinion can't determine everything. Look, one of the first things that you learn in politics, I'm afraid, and this is a lesson in political leadership, is that those who shout most don't deserve necessarily to be listened to most. Right? Everyone should be listened to equally, irrespective of the volume of noise. So, yes, I had to listen to people who were opposed to the decisions I took. There were also people in favour of the decisions I took, including, incidentally, many, many Iraqis.
I remember Jerry Adams sat in that seat last season of this programme, and I asked him, do you think you have blood on your hands down through after all the conflict and so on? And I put the same question to you with Iraq, with a view to as somebody who was involved in a military struggle, war, whatever you want to call it. Do you ever feel sometimes that perhaps you have blood in your hands?
No, I feel that I took a decision that was incredibly difficult. I know many people disagree with it, but I took it in good faith, and all I ask people to do is to understand the other point of view. I understand theirs.
Would you do it tomorrow with the same information? I know it's a bit of a beautiful
question.
Well,
it is really, because it's a hypothetical question.
I know it is.
But in answer to the question, do I still believe in the light of what we know now that Saddam was a threat? Yes, for the reasons I've just given.